you actually died and you rose up a different man. But you definitely died. No one attended the funeral. You still woke. No one attended the funeral, but you definitely died. You died. Rose again. Glory be to God.
Well, well, well. So they finally uncovered what you've been carrying all along. 12 shamans from 12 different continents, each performing separate readings, and yet every single one of them reacted the same way, dropping their sacred tools and whispering the exact same truth. This soul is protected by something ancient. But here's what they didn't tell you about that little spiritual reconnaissance mission. This wasn't some casual curiosity or harmless ritual. It was organized, calculated, and dripping with desperation. Someone out there needed answers. Answers about why you've survived storms that should have destroyed you. Why every curse hurled your way ricocheted back like rubber bullets. And why every energy vampire who got too close ended up drained instead. They wanted to know what kind of cosmic bodyguard walks with you every single day. Picture this. While you were going about your life, probably doubting yourself, probably wondering why you've always felt so different, there were people literally traveling the globe with your photograph in hand. They spent thousands, maybe tens of thousands, consulting bone throwers in Africa, medicine women in Peru, mystics in Tibet, all desperate to find your weakness. Each one tried to crack the code of what makes you untouchable, but every shaman saw the same thing. And it wasn't you that terrified them, it was what protects you. Because when they gazed at your image, when they tried to read your energy through that frozen slice of time, something looked back. Something older than their traditions, older than their spirits, older than the very rules of the invisible world they'd spent their lives studying. This presence made them close their ceremonies early, turn away payment, and refuse to continue. You want to know what really happened in those 12 sessions? Let's start with the first one. It was in Haiti, a woman who'd been reading souls for 60 years. The moment her eyes touched your photo, her candles blew out, not from wind, but from presence. And with a voice steady but laced with awe, she said, "Your guardian doesn't follow the rules of the spirit world, because it existed before the rules were even written." The second encounter happened in the frozen expanse of Siberia, where a shaman attempted to trace your bloodline through an ancient shamanic journey. But every time he drew near your spiritual signature, he collided with something far beyond his reach. It wasn't exactly a wall. It was more like standing on the edge of an endless ocean, the depth stretching down forever. When he emerged from his trance, drenched in sweat and trembling, he muttered words in his native tongue that, when translated, meant, "This one belongs to the first darkness." You see, most people are guided by ancestors, spirit guides, maybe even an angel if they're fortunate. But you walk with something that makes angels themselves uneasy. Something that was here when the earth was still cooling, when consciousness was only beginning to form its first thoughts. It doesn't guard you out of love. It guards you because you carry something it needs to fulfill an ancient, unfinished purpose. The third reading took place deep in the Amazon, where a shaman turned to ayahuasca to identify your unseen protector. That proved to be a mistake. The instant your image entered the ceremony, every participant was struck by the same vision. A colossal eye older than time itself, opening in the void and gazing at them with quiet amusement. Half the room refused to continue after that. Later, the shaman admitted he'd encountered countless spirits in over 40 years of practice, but never one that could stare back through a photograph. And here's the part that truly haunts them, the thing keeping them awake at night. It's not simply that you're protected, it's that your protector is growing stronger. With every betrayal you've endured, every attack you've walked away from, every attempt to break you that failed, you weren't just surviving, you were feeding it. Your pain, your resilience, your unshakable will. They've all been charging something that has slept for millennia. The fourth encounter happened in New Orleans, with a hoodoo priestess reputed to be able to strike a deal with any spirit. She made her offer to your guardian, rum, gold, even other souls. But the result was not what she expected. Her altar erupted in cold blue flames. When the smoke dissipated, a single message was scorched into the wood. This one is already bought and paid for. The fifth was in the vast steppes of Mongolia, where they attempted to sever the connection between you and your guardian using ancient Tengrism rituals. They believed that if they could isolate your soul in the spirit realm, they could finally see you without your protector's interference. Instead, they uncovered something far